Hello, Dave Skozik. I'm back here at the Murphey School, the Elizabeth Murphey School in Dover, Delaware. I'm with the Executive Director, Mike Kopp. Mike, welcome.
Dave, welcome.
You're another interesting guy associated with this who's been here a long time. Tell me about yourself.
Well, I have been here, most people consider a long time. I came here in 1985, became the Executive Director in 1992. This is the kind of work that you either love it or you don't make it. And our staff turnover rate will show you that most of the people we have here absolutely love it. It's a great thing to do with your life.
It would seem so. I know that certainly you've been out around town talking about, in other places, talking about the Murphey School. You spoke at our Rotary Club a couple of months back, and I know that you're involved with one of the groups from our Rotary Club who's engaged with young people. Tell me why you came here and what satisfaction that you get from being here.
Well, I came here because I like to be a part of changing children's lives, and I was actually invited to come here. I'd been involved in a residential treatment facility in Pennsylvania before I came here, and it looked like a great change. I loved the campus. It's a very homey atmosphere. Residential treatments can, not always, but can be very sterile, and this had great possibilities for a homey atmosphere for the children.
It is homey. I know certainly being here in Dover, and people say, how'd you get in the middle of a busy community? But actually I've been told that when it was first founded, this was the edge of Dover.
Correct. Mr. Murphy actually purchased land that was on the northern boundary of the city of Dover. So we didn't come up with our acreage and buildings in the middle of town. Town developed around us. And it's great having this for the children because they have access to the community and everything it has to offer to them.
You know, something we talked about is that they don't go to school here. They live here, but they do go to their schools that were closest to where they grew up or to the homes that they had lived in.
Correct. In as much as possible, we try to have the children involved in schooling because there's always an option for reunification with their families or a relative, and so we don't want to disrupt that schooling. So we actually have children at any given time in 7 school districts. Not 7 schools, 7 school districts.
Wow.
So we have children transported anywhere from Christiana to Lower Sussex County.
How do they get there? They just get on the buses, state buses, and transport them, or how?
Typically, the schools are responsible to send a driver to get them. And we may not be their only pickup. They may have other children in the area who are transporting, and so like a small van goes around and picks everyone up and gets them to their schools.
So at any given time, you have 30 to 35 students who reside here?
Correct. And they're all actively engaged. So I believe in an options-loaded environment, so there should be something going on for everyone. So playground, weight room, we've got a basketball court that's lighted. They can play at night. We belong to the YMCA. We encourage after-school sport and every other opportunity that these children, if they have an interest, we try to make it happen.
So how big is your staff?
We have a staff of 51 here right now, and we're a 24-hour day operation with 24-hour awake staff. So it requires a number of shifts to keep track of all the children and to keep them safe and to provide programming.
Now, say that you get a call from the local police that we have somebody down there at 2 o'clock in the morning at a bus stop, a young person. How would they end up here, or would they necessarily?
They may not necessarily come here. Typically, the police would call the Children's Department, Division of Family Services, and then their workers would intervene that night or on any given emergency, and it might be because of other domestic issues, but the Children's Department gets involved, and then they make referrals to us. We actually contract with the state of Delaware to take care of their children that they need care for.
Do any of your staff live here on the campus?
I'm the only person on the campus that physically lives here. It's a requirement right presently of the executive director to live on the campus, to be available 24/7s. So my biological children were actually raised here with my
Really?
wife and I and our 3 children. They're all young adults now and doing well. And so that part's great. The rest of the staff come in and work shifts and have the opportunity to go home, get fresh, get revived, come back with energy, but also to be involved in community. And so that always gives you this great comparison for what these children can aspire to be and what's typical for children their ages.
So what do you see as your biggest challenge working with these young people?
Boy, I don't know,
Tough
Dave.
question.
I love the work. I don't know. Challenges is always finding resources to do all of the things we'd love to do. Try to think what it's like to have a family with 5 children and 3 of them playing baseball, and you and your wife trying to get them where they need to be. Well, on any given point, we might have 19 children playing baseball or softball on 5 different fields.
Oh, gosh.
So it's a managerial nightmare sometimes to make it happen. But we have some great staff that sacrifice above and beyond. We've got programming people who will arrange stuff, but our staff in the cottages, that's not a job for everybody. You know, there are teachers that do a quality job teaching. They're excellent at what they do, but not every one of them can do what we do. And that's not taking anything from a teacher. It takes a special piece of your heart to give your life and sacrifice, and sometimes take some not necessarily grateful attitude from the children who are struggling with why it is that they need to be in care. And to have that resiliency as staff, and someone said to me sometimes, there are days when it's difficult to love your own children. It's even more rare to find somebody that will love someone else's children.
Well, I know that you've been dedicated. I've known you for years in passing, and certainly you expressed that emotion when you were out speaking. And we're going to have information on the screen of where people can call in order to get you to come out to speak before their groups. It's been great being with you.
We love to do that.
Thanks so very much. We'll be right back.